protest was really.
I think it was refreshing.
It was refreshing.
It was honestly refreshing to me. And I like that Abena and Pat and all the delegates that we went with read their own meanings and related to the performance and the protest in their own way. But there was a point where they were moving the black items, were so like separating the black.
The colors.
Yeah, the
from
colors.
The black.
And they quickly were like, oh, are they trying to like present the fact that we see a little more blacks in our bills? And because in Ghana we have an idea of the culture around black being for funeral and stuff, so people do not readily buy black clothes all the time. And then they were quickly, they both, like all three of them were like, oh yeah, that's what they're trying to say. And then moved to the part where they were moving the colors, like they smoothed the colors. And they were like, wait, are they trying to say because we are black, so like they, like moving into a more racial, colonial. And then I didn't say anything because I mean, we were all, it was a performance we were all trying to understand.
Interpret in our own way.
And then I was like, you know what, tell me, like I'm not telling you anything, tell me what, because I'm trying to understand as well. There was a point where the performers were like wiping their face, like they were crying and were falling down. And Abena was like, yeah, this is what happens every day. On Saturdays, you open your bills and the first thing you're doing is crying. There are people who also faint when they open their bills. And then they quickly, like the moment like an action moves, like, you know, within the performance space, they quickly connected to something that happened in the market. And then to me, it showed a level of growth in the understanding of the work that we do and the things that we've been talking about with them all of these while. And so I think it was personally, I honestly didn't even give myself the space to understand the performance in my own perspective. I was like, yo, I'm gonna stand behind these ladies and then I'm gonna see this performance within their lens. And I think that was like the most like beautiful thing. And even after the protest, when they were done with the dance and everything, Abena, they took them off and they really, really wanted to, make people know that yeah. So I think that was very, very impactful. I was blown away.
Yeah, because to what you're saying, what am I understanding is we're not used to that form of protest.
Yeah.
They even mentioned something about no blood, no violence, no police.
Yeah.
And they were able to say what they came to say or communicate, and everyone like parted ways and went back home. For me, it was very tense, and it was exemplary of the kind of conversations we've had with retailers, with upcyclists, people in the community, the kind of tension in their voices, and the kind of pain and stories they've shared with us. It just brought me back to certain instances where someone was very vulnerable and was sharing, for example, in meetings with you and in conversations, that their whole life has been ruined because that bill that they put their investment in is just bola. It was really tense and spoke to waste colonialism for me, it brought it to light. And even the movement, the facial expressions, it really spoke to the reality on the ground for me. It just brought me back to Kantamanto. It was a powerful reminder of what we're there to do. It was a powerful reminder of why I joined this organization. It was a powerful reminder of my relationships here, especially with Sammy, with others on the team.
I think for me, what made it like refreshing was when we were here and we were discussing the protest and then, you know, like planning it and then it being part of itinerary. I didn't imagine it to be like, you know, performance type of protest situation. So going there and then seeing how like all of these people were really, really dedicated to what we were doing, it's just like really beautiful. And then another thing for me, whilst we were at the protest, I had so many people, at least 7 people walked up to me, like from different places. One from Nigeria, one girl was from Cameroon, one lady was from Germany. It was just very impressive that they knew our work and they had traveled to the venue just so they could meet us and then see the work that we were doing. And I thought that was very, very impressive. And then for me, that was kind of rewarding, having people who just walked up to say, hey, we know your work, we've seen your work online, we are very proud of what you're doing. Just those simple words and then move on was very, very, very refreshing and empowering to hear.
It just made me very vulnerable, very angry, very tense and nervous and anxious. And all of these like notes, the kind of like feelings associated with the work, associated with what happens in Kantamanto on a daily basis, year in and year out. And so I think it showed the solidarity they had with us, that they'd been talking with us, they've been following our work, they've been working with us closer to understand the nuances of what happens to a certain degree and really communicate that through performance art.